Morning, church. It's Thursday, May 7th. Um, last video here on the names of God. There's plenty more names that we could go into, but we selected 7 of them just to give us a little tasting. I encourage you to keep on digging into the names of God, but I saved this one for last. It's found in Exodus chapter 15 and towards the end of the chapter. And the context of this is they just were released out of Egypt. Um, they just crossed the Red Sea. They're all excited, but now they're thirsty. And they come to a place with some water, but the water is bitter, so they can't drink the water. And the Lord shows a piece of wood to Moses, and he throws the wood in the water, and the water becomes drinkable. And we pick it up, the story there in verse 26. He said, God, if you listen carefully to the Lord your God, and you do what is right in his eyes, if you pay attention to his commands and keep all his decrees, I will not bring on you any of the diseases I brought on the Egyptians, for I am the Lord who heals you. Love that name of God, because this again is not a name that somebody gave to him. This was a name that God revealed to his people. He says, just as he did with the name Yahweh, I am who I am, he comes to the people and he says to the nation of Israel, he says, look, guys, it's not that I want to bring diseases into your life. He's like, I just want you to obey and listen and do the things I ask you to. And if you do, you'll be okay. And not that everything's always going to be okay if we do everything the Lord tells us, but he comes and he tells us, he says, I am the God who heals you. And boy, that's a hard one, right? That's a hard name for us because I think we've all experienced something in our lives at some point, or we've known somebody where God didn't show up, God didn't heal. Um, and it's hard, and we blame God, right? Uh, each and every one of you watching this has either experienced that firsthand, you will experience that firsthand, or you know of somebody who's experienced that firsthand. The pain of losing somebody after praying and praying and praying for that person. Um, and it begs the question, did God lie? And the answer is not an easy answer, other than the fact God does not lie. Let me clear that up right there before they come and take my license away. God does not lie. But the question is, what kind of healing are we looking for? If we're only looking for temporal or this life healing, then we're gonna miss out. I think of, I think it was the movie The Green Mile. I watched it years ago. When in the movie, this man has gets the opportunity to live a long life, and the problem that he experiences is that he buries all of his friends. All of his other friends die, and he faces that pain. And there comes a point where, um, if all we're looking for is eternal life on this planet, it's going to get very lonely because the people of our lives that we have, they're going to die. They're going to face something that we can't. And God says, the ultimate healing I can give you is to heal you eternally. Revelation tells us that in heaven there's no more tears, no more sickness, no more death. That is the ultimate healing. I think of people in this world that I've known. One of my best friends since college had a massive stroke and is confined to a wheelchair most of the days of his life, other than when he can get up for therapy. And he and I have been good friends, and I, he asks me all the time. He says, "Why hasn't God healed me?" And it's hard to answer that question for him. But I know there's going to come a day when he's going to stand before the Lord and walk with the Lord in eternity. He's going to get ultimate healing. You see, healing that's temporary isn't true healing. But God offers, he says, I'm the God who heals you. I'm the God who takes away all that pain, all that suffering, all that the effects of the sinful world, and I heal you from it. It may not be on the timeline that you want, but what's 50, 60 years on this planet compared to eternity? Something to think about. And I know we don't like talking about death and all that stuff, but there's it is. And God says, I am the God who heals you. And so for those of you right now walking through that dark valley of death, so for those of you that are praying for loved ones and not finding relief, maybe it's time we ask God for an ultimate healing. And I know that's not something we want to do, but that's the healing that really lasts. God be near you today. Keep on keeping on, church. And remember, He is God. All the names that we looked at, that's Him. That's His character. Keep digging into what He's like and who He is. God bless you, and we'll talk to you later.